Jody Stoyak is excited.
Having businesses painting their buildings, changing their facades, it's very exciting time for a renaissance to happen, and I thank ODOT for being instrumental in doing that for us.
Road resurfacing, sewer improvements, and new curbing are just a few of the things that received repairs. The last family left homeless after flooding in Boardman has found a new place to stay. Lisa Coleman and her family moved from their house on Woodview into their new home in Struthers yesterday. Firefighters made it safe for them to move out with boards holding up the house. Her basement wall was taken out by the flood. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 1:30. Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's. For your home or business, call Mazza Heating and Cooling in Girard, your factory-authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Small risk for an isolated shower or a thunderstorm mainly this afternoon. Temperatures will climb into the low 80s. The chance for a few showers or thunderstorms will be around tonight, with temperatures dropping back into the mid-60s. In the Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm Alex George.
I'm Joe Flynn, reminding you it's important to get the right tires for your vehicle and your own driving habits. And where you get those tires is just as important. Flynn's sales staff will help you select the best tires for your driving needs from over 20 brands. And Flynn's gives you more for your money, like a free wheel alignment check and lifetime tire rotation and balancing. Flynn sells tires the right way. That's why Flynn's has been your hometown tire and auto service expert for 50 years. So next time you need tires, go to Flynn's Tire and Auto Service.
Tell them Vinny sent you.
Now, Toby Keith should have been a Cowboy Tour 25.
I should have been a cowboy.
Presented by Ford F-Series.
Learn to roll around. Solo cup.
September 3rd at the Canfield Fair.
How do you like me now?
Toby Keith.
Whiskey for my man.
Should have been a Cowboy Tour 25.
Brought to you courtesy of the Red Wine.
On sale now. Buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Mahoning Valley History brought to you by Boardman Subaru, the most fuel-efficient and safe cars in America. Youngstown Class B Baseball provides high school players from Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania a competitive summer baseball league, providing opportunities to play college and professional ball.
Take the short drive to Geneva on the Lake and enjoy Old Firehouse Winery.
All right, welcome everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and we get to do this here on Saturdays. We talk about things that are happening in tech, and we open the floor to all of you to share your experiences, ask your questions, talk about things that are loosely connected with either business or technology or computers or the whole thing. So if you're so inspired, 330-729-9977 is the phone number. You can call us all program long, and I'll be happy to take your call. Also, you can text message me here at the station, and it is 333-1570, and I can take those messages and also read them aloud during the program, and that is all program long. I check them from time to time, probably go into every break. I'll see what messages are lined up there. So if you have a question and want to chime in on anything, beautiful thing about this audience is that we have people all over the spectrum, from the people who are just getting started in tech and people who have been around for years. And oftentimes, if you ask a question to me, and even if I don't have the answer, there is somebody out there listening that will chime in and help us answer the questions. There's a lot of brilliant, very intelligent people that listen to this program, and they're so valuable for this area and for this program and for all of you out there who, the information that's locked up in all of our brains. When we have a forum like this, we can use it to share with everyone. And so we are always the beneficiaries, the people who participate in the program. We always come away with this program learning a little bit more than we knew when we started listening. So again, 330-729-9977. Phone call right off the get-go here. Let's go with Eric. Eric, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you? Hello, Eric. You there? All right, let me put you back on hold. Eric, are you with me? All right, I'll put him back on hold. Okay. So, I'm, as all of you know, I'm a big supporter of what goes on in our area. A lot of the people who sort of have a vision for what the possibility and potential of this area has, we're all kind of rooting for those ends to come to fruition. And not only are we sort of like these passive bystanders, but we're also actively trying to incite those kind of behaviors to happen. And so I want to sort of share with you I'm a big fan of the Industrial Revolution. I studied just about every dominating personality of the era, and there was a lot of this area especially sort of lent itself into that that whole thing, and so a lot of the personalities, like I kind of take what was happening back then, the big risk takers and the big innovators and the people who weren't afraid to do stuff, and then fast forward to today, and a lot of the people that have the same kinds of minds that those early innovators had, we're really comfortable right now. So it's really hard to picture during this era that somebody would take gargantuan risk. Like, we take a little bit of risk, right? But not the risk that they took during the Industrial Revolution, because you got to think about it. There was you got to look at it like the frontier. When you're looking at all, undeveloped land and the landscape has all this room to maneuver and stuff like that, that your possibilities are, you can picture it a little bit better. But when you're a little bit more comfortable and there's a lot more stuff to occupy yourself with, and there's a lot more competition doing the same stuff that you are, you kind of throttle yourself down a little bit. And then you couple that whole feeling with what our education is doing. I mean, what are we creating? I mean, are we creating a bunch of people who, have bad options so that they go out and innovate, or we give people like the best education you can get? I mean, we have more educational institutions. Yeah, every city has one. Whether it be trades or traditional education, and so, like I said, I look at the thing as a whole, and I need to see more frontiersmen out there, people that are willing to take bigger risks, like bigger risks than we're taking right now. Because, okay, they're the risks that people take now, there's some financial risks that they're taking, and I get that, but I'm talking about like big endeavors. Like, what are our big frontiers right now? And so we can. I have a couple ideas for, the energy frontier is one of the big ones, because it's in the same deal where, everybody would put a solar panel in their backyard tomorrow if you could run a household off of a solar panel and save yourself in the thousands and thousands of dollars. But if we're talking about you put a solar panel up and it takes you 20 years to realize the benefits of those solar panels, we're kind of like on the dopamine measured on the dopamine scale. You're not going to get much feedback from that. I mean, it's going to be great if you can do it, but you're not going to get real excited. It's not going to keep you up at night, kind of a thing. So those are the kind of frontiers, those things that exist. So we'll spend the program talking a little bit about that, but we got some phone calls, so let's get to them. Let's go back to Eric. Eric, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hi, I have a question. I have an Apple MacBook Air. It's at 13.3 inch, and I bought it in October 2016, and I only bought it for one purpose, for entering my family tree on it, because I bought a program that was only compatible with Apple. And I only used it for about 5 hours, and I want to sell it. Do you know of a good way to try to sell this? It's brand new. Do you know a good place or how to sell this?
Well, you're obviously you're going to want to get top dollar for it, being that it's barely been used here. I would probably use social media and sort of gauge some interest. A lot of people have success using those buy-sell trades. And I've been totally shocked with how much they're getting. They're getting really close to new prices. Another thing would be your traditional, like your eBays and stuff like that. But I would do buy-sell trades first to see if you have someone local who are looking for something and can meet face to face and hand it off. I'd probably try that out first.
Is that a website, buy sell trade?
Well, if you go on Facebook, has a good buy sell trade network.
I don't have a Facebook account.
Okay, or you can use like a Craigslist, or you can. It basically, I think every social media has their sort of marketplace.
Okay.
And so check in with them. Boardman has one, Struthers has one, Youngstown has one, Girard has one. Just see if you can post it out there, and it might even be worthwhile to sign up for Facebook just to use that marketplace and see if you can offload it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate the phone call.
Bye.
And another phone call, 330-729-9977. Let's go to Mark. Mark, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hey, Dan. computer gave up the ghost, and so I had to buy a new computer. I got a HP, and it has Windows 10, and I've been running Windows 7, so, you know, there's a bit of a learning curve there. What I am wondering is there a way that I could, like, switch it over to, like, Windows 7? I mean, a screen or whatever, you know, the way the Windows 7 was set up?
Are you talking like the start button and all that kind of stuff?
Correct.
Okay. We use a program called Classic Shell. And what it does is it sort of like changes the user interface a little bit, so it looks a lot more, it looks similar to what, you know, the old Windows 7 stuff was. So when someone's really irritated with the new layout, Classic Shell gives you the same kind of menuing that Windows 7 did. That's a good place to start. And I think it's either free or like $2, you know, to buy it. So it's really inexpensive, or it might even be totally free.
Classic Shelf?
Classic Shell, S-H-E-L-L.
Like the seashell.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being out there. And so that gives Classic Shell, like I said, is early on when like they totally rid us of the start button. Then we use Classic Shell to totally replace it and give you a start button back. Now that you have a start button, it's just a different menu layout. Classic Shell sits on top of that, and then you have the more familiar controls. So Classic Shell. And I don't know the actual website. In fact, before I just send you on a wild goose chase, I should probably tell you the legitimate sites, because if you've paid attention to this program, we know that, you know, you take a popular product that people use, and then you set up a website that sort of looks like the one that people are talking about, and then you capture people as they come to your site. So you got to be real careful about, you know, visiting sites that are just pretending to be. And so it's classicshell.net. So classic, SHELL.net is the proper website for that. Okay. So 330-729-9977 and 333-1570 for texting me. And we were talking about the sort of the frontier. And so let me go into one that my son and I have been working on for the last couple weeks. And so we you know, you watch some of these sort of environmental videos about these big, you know, improper things that are happening, and they all get us in the heart, and we know that we want to do something to contribute and, you know, sort of right it and help it and, you know, be smarter about it. So there's this big garbage swill of plastic that's sitting in the Pacific Ocean, and it's the currents carry all of this trash into this, you know, big island of garbage. And so my son and I were watching some people who had some ideas about, you know, what to do, you know, reclaiming some of the garbage, barging it. And, you know, they're talking about how quickly they can clean it up versus how much more stuff is going into the ocean that's replacing it. And it's kind of a sad tale about, you know, the world in general. And, you know, some of the more underdeveloped parts of our world are contributing to this swill a little bit more than, you know, than others. But still, it's a problem. Now, so immediately, okay, well, I go into problem-solving mode when anybody hands me something like this, a big math equation. And most of these big problems, just like the solar one, just like all of these other ones, they don't have a really great answer. And that's probably, you know, most of the point. So if you think about it, if, you know, you got this big thing of plastic sitting in the ocean, right? It's probably still sitting there because the value of plastic, the stuff that's sitting in there, is not of great value, right? Now, if you were to say that there were, you know, hundreds of bobbing gold ingots in the middle of the Pacific, you would have boats just grabbing the stuff up, putting it on a barge and cashing in, right? So you got to assume that the plastic that's sitting out there, it would actually cost more to go out there, grab the plastic and recycle it, reuse it, resell it, something like that, or else somebody would be doing it. So the innovators have to, you know, the people. Okay, so we got to look at the landscape in this situation right now. The technology that exists right now says that plastic is too inexpensive to dedicate people and resources to go out there and fetch an entire island of it. Okay, and so the innovators have to figure out how to do things, how to go and use resources that already exist, and find different uses of them that aren't in that standpoint. So it's cheaper to create more plastic than to go use that plastic that's sitting in the ocean, all right? And the cost, the value is like It's like 50 cents, maybe 20. No, it's 25 cents per pound is what it comes down to. So if you go grab it, take the boat way out there and grab it. So Ryan and I were taken in a couple different directions. So I want to create a drone that just kind of skims along the water. So think about a Roomba, but for the water. And you got this little boat that just bounces around out in the ocean. And it's got to have some kind of void in it, like a barge would have, that when it comes across something floating around, that it can scoop it up and put it in the, the hull of the vessel. And you can use lots of solar panels, so the sky will power this little drone thing all around the ocean or the lakes. 'Cause I was really picturing Lake Erie doing this getting some kind of robotic vessel to bounce around out there and collect stuff that's on top of the water and skim it off and whatever. And then so we got to that. It's okay, well, that's pretty doable. We have the software, the hardware, the technology to put something like that in play. The solar technology was, built for this. I mean, the whole thing could be done very easily. And I thought, okay, well, it's going to be successful. And now what do you do with the stuff that it skims off of there? And I thought, okay, well, I looked at the research and found that it's going to be a lot of plastic that you're going to be pulling in there that's floating out there. And so now what can you do with plastic? Let's think of 1,001 uses that you can use for plastic. And so I started learning out the recycling process and creating energy from it, or creating more stuff out of it, breaking it down and reselling, the raw materials to people who then do extrusion and other plastic things. And, just like anything else, like I said, that the stuff that I'm coming across right now, we've got to do some more innovation, because there isn't a whole lot. That plastic will be cleaned up in 2 seconds if there was more cash in it, there was more value in it, and there was easier ways and a more straightforward way of doing this. So I'm kind of want to just let you know that, I need more people to be thinking sort of this way, attacking some of these bigger problems that affect all of us and ourselves in the future. And rather than getting on that sort of, social soapbox of making everybody feel guilty about how terribly we take care of our rooms, let's inspire people the way that, things actually get done, where there's a benefit on the other side of it, that if we can figure out the technology to use these materials better, then you're putting recycling down at the end of your driveway, not because it makes you feel good, but because it's a part of the practice of capitalism, where you put that basket out there and they put $3 in your mailbox, and then the world goes on. That inspires you to do even more when we can figure out better ways to use these resources and not just have it be some altruistic just because it makes us feel good kind of thing. We got to, like I said, we got to reward people for this kind of behavior by making it like those gold ingots floating around in the middle of Lake Erie. Because you'd be on a boat tomorrow jumping out there to go grab those ingots, but not so much for plastic. All right, we're going to take a break. 330-729-9977, or you can text me at 333-1570. We'll come back. This is the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-573-9552. That's 800-573-9552. 800-573-9552. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
With over 20 years in business and over 20 million blinds sold, Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Need some inspiration? Go to Blinds.com to see tons of customer photos. And right now, you save up to 35%, plus take an additional 5% off site-wide when you use promo code LIGHT. That's 35% plus take an additional 5% off site-wide at Blinds.com. Blinds.com, promo code LIGHT. Rules and restrictions apply.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement pills are virtually the same thing that's redone over and over again? Why settle for the same old product when you can get something that really works? Men, you need to try Noxitril, the explosive male enhancement formula that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level you could only dream of. Try to imagine Viagra on steroids. Call now for our special free bottle offer today.
Call 1-800-229-9517. That's 800-229-9517. 800-229-9517.
Welcome back from summer vacation, class. First, a quick announcement. School is closed. That's right. Taylor Toyota of Hermitage is having their national clearance event. I can't miss these deals, so you get another day of summer vacation. Class dismissed.
That's right. You can't miss these deals. Hurry into the national clearance event because Taylor Toyota of Hermitage is offering some serious savings. Right now, you can get up to 130% KBB value on trade-ins, and then check out a brand new 2018 Tacoma SR Double Cab 4x4 for just $199 a month. You caught that? 130% KBB value on your trade and a 2018 Tacoma for just $199 a month. Summer vacation won't last forever, and neither will the national clearance event. Taylor Toyota of Hermitage. To pay more is insane. 36-month lease, $1,000 down, plus first payment tax, title, and 116 doc fee. No security with approved credit based on fair condition up to $3,000. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details. Offer ends 9/4/18.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. Get a breath of fresh air with Larson Storm Doors. The Royal Oak Mid-View Storm Door features a retractable screen and is available in white or sandstone. Right now, just $202.92 after 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through August 25th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Here's a reminder, don't get caught without air conditioning during these hot summer months. What you need to remember is to call Price Heating and Cooling today for service and maintenance. Now, Price Heating and Cooling prides themselves on their outstanding customer service and expertise. They'll have you feeling cool and comfortable in your home all summer long. So remember, for your air conditioning service and to stay nice and cool and comfortable, call the experts in red. Price Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-SAY-PRICE.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I'm Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer. We get to do this here on Saturdays. I want to welcome everybody who's out there on Facebook Live and also on YouTube and Twitch and Periscope. All of you that are viewing this program live, the video streaming from the 570 WKBN studios, iHeartRadio. So welcome on to the program. I appreciate you. We did get a text message in from the last segment there, and the question is, isn't that plastic waste area as big as the island of Manhattan? It is huge. I mean, I'm guessing that it's as big as Manhattan, but it might even be, bigger than that. That is a huge cache of plastic. And so, like I said in the last hour, if we can figure out a way to reuse the resource of plastic in a way that doesn't, that it's one of these things where once a society, a civilization gets too comfortable, I'm going to even say that the push, the pressure to do these right things, right, is in the hands of a couple. People do the right thing, even though there are easier ways. But for the majority are always going to do the not right thing. I can't call it the wrong thing because it really isn't. It's just the normal thing, the regular thing. They're going to go along with it, and they're not going to do anything until they're in peril. And most of us say, okay, well, there is a peril, and that's why we go into this whole let's make everybody feel terrible about what we've already done, and then nobody wants to jump on it. You create this toxic thing where, hey, you know what, the minute that I do something right about it, we're going to turn it into let's go find the villain, and then nobody's going to be inspired anymore. So, but there are always going to be a hands of us that feel like jumping on it because it's the right thing to do, regardless about how the rest of the world feels about it. So there was this one guy, and it's got to be over in outside of this country, maybe Mexico, maybe somewhere in Africa, but it was an underdeveloped village, right? And so underdeveloped villages are receiving food in plastic because they're dying of diseases because of unsanitary conditions. So the plastic is saving their life, right? And so when they drink the clean water that came in a plastic bottle or they eat the food that came in a plastic container, it's not even on the radar that protecting the environment is a thing, right? They're battling diseases. They don't care about pollution because their society is just different than ours. So even if you cleaned up everybody in the developed world, the rest of the world who has access to plastic isn't going to be, on the same page that we are. So like I said, this is where technology comes in, and we use technology to create an industry where, recycling isn't just a feel-good whatever. You get some real brains behind it, and you figure out how to do it well enough that there's money in it, and then everybody's attracted to it, and it becomes an industry. Let's not be afraid to have something that had, social benefits and repercussions to make it something that capitalism solves. And I think we're capable if we've got people in the frontier that are willing to expose themselves and their businesses to do the right thing kind of stuff, and then they know the public has their support without trying to make someone a villain. And it's hard in this world right now to not do that because everybody who's, could do it kind of strays away from that kind of stuff because they don't want to be dragged through the mud by a bunch of people for trying to do the right thing. So anyway, 330-729-9977 is the phone number. 333-157 is the text number. We're going to take this break. We'll come back to some of your phone calls. So this is great. Make sure you keep the calls coming. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Stifel is a full-service firm offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. Stifel, with 3 offices in the Valley, with experienced advisors assisting you. Information, visit stifel.com or call 744-4351. Stifel Nicholas Incorporated.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
Concerned citizens went to court yesterday in an attempt to stop the Lordstown TJX project. 27 First News says the group says they would suffer immediate and permanent harm if TJX builds. For now, the results will stand. Another hearing is set for September 11th. Attorneys for the village say it's just another attempt to stall the project. Sunday is the 9th year for the Youngstown Marathon. Several Interstate 680 ramps, however, are closed for repairs. I-680 southbound between State Route 193 and Market Street is closed through Monday morning. The ramp from High Street to I-680 is closed. The detour will be Edward Street to Mahoning Avenue to 5th Avenue to US 422 East, US 62 West back to 680. Also, the ramps from Oakwood Street to I-680 and Silman Street to I-680, both southbound, are closed. The detour for both will be Steel Street to Mahoning Avenue to 5th Avenue to US 422 East to US 62 West back to I-680. The Ohio Department of Transportation and officials in Liberty are celebrating a $4 million investment in the township. Township trustee Jody Stoyak is excited.
Having businesses painting their buildings, changing their facades, it's very exciting time for a renaissance to happen. And I thank ODOT for being instrumental in doing that for us.
Road resurfacing, sewer improvements, and new curbing are just a few of the things that received repairs. The last family left homeless after flooding in Boardman has found a new place to stay. Lisa Coleman and her family moved from their house on Woodview into their new home in Struthers yesterday. Firefighters made it safe for them to move out with boards holding up the house. Her basement wall was taken out by the flood. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 2. Need a furnace and AC checkup? Call Mazza Heating and Cooling in Girard, your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Small risk for an isolated shower or a thunderstorm mainly this afternoon. Temperatures will climb into the low 80s. The chance for a few showers or thunderstorms will be around tonight with temperatures dropping back into the mid 60s. In the Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm Alex George.
Hey, it's Lindsay Watts and we're here at Firestone Farms and it's the last weekend in August and you know what that means. Dog Days of Summer. And to celebrate, the town center at Firestone Farms, right on the intersection of Route 7 and 14, has quite the lineup of musical performances. Last night, We the Animals took the stage, followed by Beatlemania Magic. But tonight, the John Hempu Band is bringing its classic rock and roll sound and will play from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is a free, family-friendly event featuring live music, great food, shopping, and more. I'll be out here from 12 to 2 today, spinning the Pizza Hut prize wheel. We've got tickets to the Canfield Fair, so make sure you come out and see me. I'm also getting people signed up to win $400 in gift cards to the shops here at the town center at Firestone Farms. So make a day of it. Come out and get some coffee from Stone Fruit or some Froyo from Orange Leaf and stay for the festivities later on.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-573-9552. That's 800-573-9552. 800-573-9552. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's. 570 WKBN.com. Driven by Donnell Ford, Boardman, and DonnellFord.com. Selling America's best-selling brand.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. Thanks for joining us here on this Saturday afternoon to talk about things that are happening in technology. Today's provocative thought day, throwing out some ideas to get sort of the people of this area thinking. And if we can just prod a couple of you, because we've got some intelligent brains out there that are capable of solving some of these big problems. We just need some incentive to back them. And it has to be more than just the guilt and shame side of things. We got to really give people the backing of the public. And that means when somebody stands up and says they're going to take on something big that's going to be hard, we're going to support them. We're going to stand behind them, and we're going to push them through it, not wait till something is imperfect and rip them to shreds. And that's sort of what we need to do as a community as a whole, is support our people through thick and thin, be behind each other through thick and thin, and be empathetic with each other through thick and thin. And, where we can always get something going for short term, it's just a matter of time before someone rips somebody to shreds, and then you have everybody that's just so gun shy about doing stuff. And so, if I can just take a couple of you and inspire you to start doing stuff, and I can take a couple more of you and get you on board with supporting people who are trying to make a difference, and then I'll say that I do enough of these, and man, we'll have a movement in this area of just getting stuff done. And I'm telling you, the public will follow you once you're doing great things and we're supporting people the way that we should. So that's what I want to inspire you to do. And like I said, I'm telling you, our brainiacs, are really, those socially awkward but really intelligent deep thinkers, right? They're my favorite. And you know what I'm telling you? They are bored out of their mind. I get to run across them every once in a while, and I'll get these brilliant minds, and I don't know what they do for a living yet. I just know that they're contemplating big things. And then we'll get to the conversation where I'm like, okay, well, how are you wielding this brain of yours right now? And they'll tell me that they've got a really good job and they're collecting a really big paycheck, but they're not going to solve any of the world's problems in the position that they are. And so why is it that our community and our society and everything puts these people who are capable of doing big things, and we put these handcuffs on them that takes their freedom away to change things? So I want to live in a different society where we take our brightest, I'll honestly, if you're smart, you can get away with a whole lot of stuff. I will put up with a whole lot of stuff the smarter that you are. You're socially awkward and don't know how to communicate? That's great. Let's get your brain working on the parts that you're awesome at. And you know what? We'll make a lot of tolerances for you to put your, the rest of this stuff together. We'll ignore the fact that you don't communicate well. We'll ignore the fact that we're not going to have a really good conversation with you, or you're not going to be able to bare your soul like everyone else. But when I get you working on big formulas and put you in front of opportunities that have real consequence, that's when the payoff will be. And I'm not going to be the one that picks you apart, and I'm not going to let the people of our community pick you apart. I'm going to let you go do your thing. So what you need to take away from this is we got some brilliant thinkers out there that are bored out of their skulls because they don't have the opportunity. If we put opportunities out there, we will attract those people that are right now grinding it away in regular jobs, and we can give people the opportunities to really work on big things. So when we look at the sexy jobs of our in the United States, when you think of the Googles and the people who are like right on the cusp, right on the edge of innovation, right? Those are awesome because you get people that aren't working on something that has production value, right? It has innovative value. And that's, I want to get a sense for people who are innovating in ways that are like big risks. I mean, we got Elon Musk over there. I told you last week, he's like one of my heroes because he doesn't have to push himself anymore. He's pushing himself, right? Doesn't have to. He could just, retire off of everything that he's made and never take a risk again. And he puts it on the line every time with a new project. It's what he's built of. And when things go sour, do you see what the public is doing to him? Do you see the pressures that we're putting on one of our? He's going to buckle and snap because of the regular people. We're gonna take someone who could change the world in so many more ways than any of us are capable of, and we're gonna treat him like he's a normal person. And the minute that things get rough, we're gonna throw him under the bus. And that's how that's why I said we create villains that way, because he's not a villain. But we keep this up, and we're going to create some. All right, 330-729-9977. Let's go to Scrappy. Scrappy, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Joe,
yes.
Your idea about a barge, if it was GPS controlled with the drone as a scout, you could take that barge and hollow it out on the fore side towards the front. You would have a collecting compartment, and in the rear you would have a grinding compartment because plastics have to be ground up. You have a grinding and shredding mechanism in the back with an impactor. So when you pull in a port, you could have it backed out, by a bigger vac unit and sent right to the factory for recycling in plastics, HDPE or whatever, polycarbonate, whatever it is. Usually it's high-density polyethylene is milk containers and that sort of thing. We're behind on this. TVs, I could pick up a dozen TVs with tubes every week and crush them and separate them, plastic and glass and metal. But, it's labor intensive and you got to have a place to do it. And it's hard to find the right kind of money for it. We're not taking care of this. If necessity is the mother of invention, we've missed the cue on these things. Recycling is actually one of the oldest, and it's the biggest type of engineering feat in the world. It always has been. Even in the time of Christ, garbage heaps, were all around Jerusalem.
All right. Now, are you on this? Sounds like you know a little bit about the process. Are you working on anything?
Yes. Well, grinding and shredding equipment have become they're a frontier area. We need to prepare these materials for recycling. They have to be either ground, pulverized, or shredded. I've been working for 10 years on a unit that you could customize, pull behind a tractor or, a semi-tractor or behind a F-250 pickup truck, customized sizes for shredding and grinding of tires. Okay, there's all different kinds of sizes of tires, and that calls for different capacities of grinding equipment and shredding equipment. But to reuse it, you need to grind it and shred it or pulverize it so it can be mixed in with, say, asphalt. That's a big thing they use it for now. They're doing this down in Atlanta and Texas, and Ohio is way behind on it. We don't have the directive from leadership yet, and we're trying. We're working on it. But my area, you take a gondola, 3-yard, 10-yard, you put it on a trailer, and you put a grinding and shredding unit in it, and it's no small feat. It's a huge machining and welding endeavor.
Now,
anyhow,
Now, if you take this stuff and it's unclean before you shred it, is there a way to? Is it usable even without being like separated and cleaned?
Well, there could be an application for it, but it's questionable. Usually, in order you have to have clean materials to have a clean product, made from recycled material. You have to clean it. You have to wash it. It's just like stone. Aggregate stone has to be washed too. A lot of times Mother Nature takes care of it, when it sits in the yard. It gets rained on, and gravity takes over and washes the impurities out. But using Mother Nature is another advantage I like to take, because use gravity, use Mother Nature in your favor to do the endeavor that you're taking on. Dan, here's the other thing. I'm working on a septic tank pamphlet and storm sewers and septic tanks, which I want to publish within the next year or two. Mahoning and Trumbull County. It's a really, really, pertinent, because of Meander Lake and our water resources. Septic tanks are being upgraded, and there's a lot of controversy about it. But because the old septic tanks were not really very, very contained, they bled off into the water table. Anyhow, I'm doing a pamphlet. I want to download from my Toshiba laptop and my Android cell phone. I want to download pictures. This is going to be a pictorial of storm sewers, storm drainage, and septic tanks.
Okay, so you have all the pictures on the Android?
Yeah, I take pictures with my Android, and I want to download them to my laptop and to my mainframe.
Yeah, perfect. All you got to do is if you take the USB cable that you use to charge it, when you plug it into the computer, it's going to show up under computer, and then you can search the device under the DCIM folder, and all your pictures will be in chronological order in those folders.
It's all I need to do is use the USB charge connector.
That's it.
Same style.
Yep.
And that will go into the mainframe or into the laptop.
Well, you'll have the ability to transfer them. You can view them by opening up computer and then the device, DCIM, and then the folder, finding them, and then you can copy them wherever. Copy them to the local machine. Copy them up to wherever your mainframe would be.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to get back in touch with you and consult on this, because I want to get this done in the next 12 months to 24 months, and it's going to be totally pictorial. I'll have, there'll be text, but I'm going to need your help, buddy.
Absolutely. All right, yeah, keep me in mind. My email is joe@youngstowncomputer.com. Feel free to give me an email, and we'll hook up.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Scrappy. Appreciate it. And
have a good weekend, buddy.
You too. All right, bye-bye. And this is what he was saying here is that, it's an industry, right? And so we know there's a demand for it, and we know that it's going to be the advocates are all going to be involved, but the regular population isn't going to have much involvement until it has a benefit. And so what it's going to take is some of these people that are stuck in regular jobs, these innovators, are going to have to get on this task of figuring out what to do with this stuff. And not just from a standpoint of making it usable. Everybody's going to find a use for it. But if it's not a practical use for it, then only some people are going to be using it. Like I said, remember this. If you think you're on the right track with this innovation, that right now, if it was an island of floating gold bullion, right, it would take care of itself. There would be so many people who would be on board. Now, the closer you get to it being parity, meaning it costs you as much as it takes to reclaim, the less people are going to be involved. So if you got to put energy into gathering up your recyclables and you take it down to the end of the street and you get $1, right? You start comparing what the effort it takes you to put that together and think of how many people don't do it because it's just not worth the effort of doing it. What if it were? How many people would recycle? There's a guy that's in one of these underdeveloped countries. He started a plastic bank where people bring in their plastic and he gives them a monetary credit that they can put in and shop at his store, right? And buy basic goods and necessities. They can buy the rest of the first world nations have at every corner drugstore, you can buy with the plastic store. So people go around to these rivers and streams and just anywhere that plastic washes up. And they go around there, there's a lack of work. There's not like you could just go down and do a job there. They have agriculture and that's about it, right? So if you want to make some money, you can go get some plastic stuff and you can survive, all right? And they're giving them, think about this, they're giving them 50 cents per kilogram, right? So I think kilogram's like 2 pounds. So I did the rough math and said that 25 cents a pound is what you can get from the most, and this is a privately funded. They're not making money on this plastic bank, right? They're doing it as a sort of a philanthropic. You get to help somebody at the same time you get to clean up some third world nation, right? And so that's this thinking behind it. If we can outdo that, we can get somebody on it that says, okay, well, how can we make it so that there is a plastic use that could push up? Can we do something with plastic that makes it not just a utility for creating more milk jugs, but there's got to be something else? And I don't know what it is, but there's some big thinkers out there that might. And so that's why I'm bringing this up, because I'm on it and I know that we're this far away. And I figure if we can get some more help on it, there's something that could be done. All right, let's go to Al next. Al, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hey, how we doing today?
Good.
Hey, I'm by no means an expert in any of this, but it was a really interesting topic you guys were talking about. And I was wondering, I mean, when you're talking about the give and takes, versus how much it costs, what's the benefit of you retaining it and getting that back and recycling it? I mean, at this point, because you're saying the island's actually about the size of like Manhattan at this point.
Yeah, it's huge.
So I was looking up the square miles of Manhattan. It was 22, almost 23 square miles. The size of it. I mean, a mass of that size in the land would almost be worth, at this point, if you had a plan of attack that you would say, okay, this is out in the ocean now. How do we contain it? Can we use that as a landmass, almost as if we were to build on that, or if we could contain it in some way where instead of actually spending the resources and sending a barge out back and forth to compile this and collect all this junk, would it be possible if you were, to send units out or to go out there, can we collect it in such a way where it almost acts as a buoy system for some type of floating landmass?
Interesting.
Like island.
I like that. Yeah. And so make it solid so that you can do stuff on top of it. That's interesting. Real interesting, actually.
Right. Or at least, at least to the point where you could actually facilitate something and say, okay, now we can tie this together in a way that we can actually build on top of this or set up a production area where you don't have to necessarily pull these resources back and forth. Let's get out there to the middle and have a place to actually do this. Because it's so hard, because it's so, it's so isolated from the rest of the world. I don't know where in, the geolocation, you said it came from a lot of different sources around, and some from different areas more heavily than us, where it would be. I mean, is there other masses like this in the ocean, or is it just basically one that we found? Or
well, I think this is the biggest one. Wherever these ocean currents meet, it collects like a whirlpool where all the junk kind of like all comes together and accumulates. So I think that the biggest ones in the Pacific, there's one in the Indian Ocean and there's one in the North Atlantic too, but they're not quite as big.
Wow. Well, and how do they gather this information? Was this basically using, ships and stuff passing in the area with sonar that they were able to gather, the size of the masses that were in the
it's huge. So it's viewable from space. So, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about more of that. Al, sorry, we have to go off to break. Appreciate the phone call. Phone number 330-729-9977. You can text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Lindsay Watts, and I'm down here at the Town Center at Firestone Farms, and it's finally that time of summer. It's the dog days of summer, and the John Hempu Band will take the stage tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. here at the Town Center at Firestone Farms. Bring the entire family out for this free, family-friendly event featuring live music, shopping, great food, and more. I'm going to be spinning the Pizza Hut prize wheel in front of Homestead Kitchen and Cocktails from 12 to 2 today, and I have tickets to the Canfield Fair, Scrappers, and Pentatonics. I'll also be getting people signed up to win $400 in gift cards to the shops here at the Town Center at Firestone Farms on the corners of Route 7 and 14 in Columbiana. See you when you get here.
Listen up.
Looking for a new Toyota? Well, this is about to be the most valuable minute of your day. The national clearance event is going on now at Taylor Toyota of Hermitage with jaw-dropping deals. For a short time, you can get a brand new 2018 Tacoma SR Double Cab 4x4 for just $199 a month. That's a whole lot of truck and only $199. $199. People are going to snatch those up quick. And if you're trading in your current vehicle, you'll be saving even more. Get this, Taylor Toyota is giving up to 130% KBB value for trades. That means whatever your car's worth, you're getting an extra 30%. Recap, that's a 2018 Tacoma for only $199 and 130% KBB value for your trade. Passing that up is just throwing cash away. No. So get the Taylor Toyota of Hermitage now for the national clearance event. To pay more is insane! 36-month lease, $1,000 down, plus first payment tax, title, and $116 doc fee. No security with approved credit based on fair condition up to $3,000. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details. Offer ends 9/4/18.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop! Experts warn of a stock market crash any day now, and you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings again. But you don't have to lose a penny. There's a better, safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn about it in a free report. This method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. Bankonyourself.com.
There are a lot of warnings you don't want to miss, like a sign saying bridge out up ahead. But in the digital world, there may be no warning when it comes to cyber threats. That's why the new LifeLock Identity Theft Protection now adds Norton Security. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to help detect threats to your identity, and Norton Security protects your devices from ransomware, emerging viruses, and other online threats. And if you have a problem, their agents will work with you to fix it. Now, of course, no one can stop every cyber threat or prevent all identity theft or even monitor all transactions in all businesses. But having new LifeLock with Norton means that they'll warn you about the threats you could otherwise miss on your own. Join now. Get an extra 10% off your first year plus a $25 Amazon gift card with annual enrollment. Go to lifelock.com or call 800-440-4833. Use the promo code RUSH. Terms apply.
It's Saturday, August 25th. What's new today on the free iHeartRadio app? iHeartRadio. Don't let summer get away without experiencing one of iHeartRadio's free summer playlists. 70s Road Mix is perfect for cruising around or sitting by the pool. And the Yacht Rock playlist is guaranteed to put you in a good mood. Plus, football fans, it's draft season. Check out the 24/7 Fantasy Sports Network so you can crush your fantasy draft. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. iHeartRadio.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
Tired for no reason, muscle weakness, or high blood pressure? The cause can be as simple as a vitamin D deficiency. People in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania don't make enough vitamin D, and it affects their health. Listen this Sunday morning at 7 for more information. That's Sunday at 7 a.m.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. We're talking about the technologies and computers and all that kind of stuff. We're really getting on this cool topic. I'm really enjoying this. Text messages said, "Hey, please tell me that you don't believe that plastic straws will be the end of humankind." All right, here's the thing: there are enough people that do think that straws will be the end of humankind that somebody can provide the service to make sure that we have a method, a technology to clean this stuff up. Because as I said, that I don't believe we're in peril, but I do believe that when you can, and let me just tell you this, during that break, I looked to see how big this was, to see if it really was as big as the island of Manhattan, right? And it's a little bigger than that. So they don't have because it's a growing, moving thing. There's an estimate. The small size of the estimate is said that this thing is 270,000 square miles. This garbage patch is 270,000, the size of Texas. The high side of the estimate is it's 5.8 million square miles, the size of Russia. Okay, so this isn't a little garbage patch where there's stuff accumulating and people are going out there to seize the valuables in this patch. This is an unwanted just swill pile. And if you had a swill pile just in your backyard and hasn't affected you yet, and when you look out there, it's kind of irritating, right? You're not going to be happy that there's a swill pile, even if it's not affecting you right now. So there's enough people that would be willing, right? And here's the thing about our society, where there's people who know that's not right. They can't do anything about them, so then they just gripe about it, and they can't do anything, and they're just angry about it, right? But if there was an innovator that right now is doing something that can't change the world, and he figures out or she figures out a way to take this on, you take the person who's really upset about it, and they're willing to finance the person who can do something about it, and then the swill gets cleaned up regardless. This is like the capitalism, adding the value of things. You have a person that wants a service, and you have a person that's capable of providing a service, and you match those two up, and then they're able to change a big thing. And then it doesn't matter how you feel or how I feel about it, we know there's somebody out there that's demanding that something be done about it. And like I said, I can't really argue that if there's a swill pile churning out there the size of Texas in the middle of the ocean of people's refuse that's not getting smaller, I have a feeling that in the future, it might be a little bit bigger of a problem. So it's one of those things where, yeah, I'm cool with somebody figuring out something to do about it and doing it in a way that fixes the problem and it also satisfies the gripe of people who are upset about it. I mean, you can't lose on that one. All right, 330-729-9977 or text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
I'm Joe Flynn, reminding you it's important to get the right tires for your vehicle and your own driving habits. And where you get those tires is just as important. Flynn's sales staff will help you select the best tires for your driving needs from over 20 brands. And Flynn's gives you more for your money, like a free wheel alignment check and lifetime tire rotation and balancing. Flynn sells tires the right way. That's why Flynn's has been your hometown tire and auto service expert for 50 years. So next time you need tires, go to Flynn's Tire and Auto Service.
Tell them Vinny sent you.
During these hot summer months, what you need to remember is to call Price Heating and Cooling today for service and maintenance. Now, Price Heating and Cooling prides themselves on their outstanding customer service and expertise. They'll have you feeling cool and comfortable in your home all summer long. So remember, for your air conditioning service and to stay nice and cool and comfortable, call the experts in red. Price Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-SAY-PRICE.
Time is 2 o'clock. For antique oak flooring, go to BairdBrothers.com. This is News Radio 570 WKBN, Youngstown.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. President Trump back on Twitter today taking fresh aim at Attorney General Jeff Sessions, saying he doesn't understand what's happening underneath his command position. His words. Earlier this week, Trump said his attorney general had never taken control of the DOJ and lamented Sessions for accusing himself in the Russia investigation, to which Sessions pushed back. I took control of the Department of Justice the day I was sworn in. In North Carolina,
No platform for white supremacy!
counter-protesters on the UNC campus in Chapel Hill today. Earlier this week, students at the university brought down the Silent Sam statue that honored the South's fallen soldiers in the Civil War. Today, they were met by a small but angry group carrying Confederate flags. While this man didn't say he was with the group, he did say,
It broke my heart to see one of the monuments be destroyed, any monument. I mean, it don't matter to me. Any part of history doesn't need to be destroyed. If we ruin history, like I say, if you forget about it, you're doomed to repeat it.
As we hear news that Senator John McCain has chosen to discontinue medical treatment in his battle against brain cancer, ABC's chief political commentator Cokie Roberts says it was a Confederate symbol controversy that illustrates how McCain set himself apart from other politicians by being ready to admit mistakes and offer apologies.
I think the most interesting thing that he's apologized about, there was a dispute about the Confederate flag flying on the Capitol in South Carolina, and he kind of vacillated on that because he didn't want to come down one side or the other, and he said that was wrong. That was just plain wrong, and I should have come out against that flag.
McCain has been spending the last 24 hours receiving friends and family at his Arizona home, saying goodbye. Elon Musk saying disregard what he suggested on Twitter about Tesla going private, that the electric car maker will stay a public company. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's what's happening in the Valley. Concerned citizens went to court yesterday in an attempt to stop the Lordstown TJX project. 27 First News says the group says they would suffer immediate and permanent harm if TJX builds. For now, the results will stand. Another hearing is set for September 11th. Attorneys for the village say it's just another attempt to stall the project. Sunday is the 9th year for the Youngstown Marathon. Several Interstate 680 ramps, however, are closed for repairs. I-680 southbound between State Route 193 and Market Street is closed through Monday morning. The ramp from High Street to I-680 is closed. The detour will be Edward Street to Mahoning Avenue to 5th Avenue to US 422 East, US 62 West back to 680. Also, the ramps from Oakwood Street to I-680 and Silman Street to I-680, both southbound, are closed. The detour for both will be Steel Street to Mahoning Avenue to 5th Avenue to US 422 East to US 62 West back to I-680. The Ohio Department of Transportation and officials in Liberty are celebrating a $4 million investment in the township. Township trustee Jody Stoyak is excited.
Having businesses painting their buildings, changing their facades, it's very exciting time for a renaissance to happen. And I thank ODOT for being instrumental in doing that for us.
Road resurfacing, sewer improvements, and new curbing are just a few of the things that received repairs. The last family left homeless after flooding in Boardman has found a new place to stay. Lisa Coleman and her family moved from their house on Woodview into their new home in Struthers yesterday. Firefighters made it safe for them to move out with boards holding up the house. Her basement wall was taken out by the flood. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 2:30. Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's. Cool your home this summer. Call Mazza Heating and Cooling in Girard, your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Small risk for an isolated shower or a thunderstorm mainly this afternoon. Temperatures will climb into the low 80s. The chance for a few showers or thunderstorms will be around tonight with temperatures dropping back into the mid 60s. In the Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm Alex George.
Welcome back from summer vacation, class. First, a quick announcement. School is closed. That's right. Taylor Toyota of Hermitage is having their national clearance event. I can't miss these deals, so you get another day of summer vacation. Class dismissed.
That's right, you can't miss these deals. Hurry into the national clearance event because Taylor Toyota of Hermitage is offering some serious savings. Right now, you can get up to 130% KBB value on trade-ins, and then check out a brand new 2018 Tacoma SR Double Cab 4x4 for just $199 a month. You caught that? 130% KBB value on your trade and a 2018 Tacoma for just $199 a month. Summer vacation won't last forever, and neither will the national clearance event. Taylor Toyota of Hermitage. To pay more is insane. 36-month lease, $1,000 down, plus first payment tax, title, and 116 doc fee. No security with approved credit based on fair condition up to $3,000. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details. Offer ends 9/4/18.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement pills are virtually the same thing that's redone over and over again? Why settle for the same old product when you can get something that really works? Men, you need to try Noxitril, the explosive male enhancement formula that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level you could only dream of. Try to imagine Viagra on steroids. Call now for our special free bottle offer today.
Call 1-800-229-9517. That's 800-229-9517. 800-229-9517.
Fairway Ford is the #1 F-150 dealer in the entire region. We have over 200 F-150s available, all with extra cash rebates. See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
For authentic Italian cuisine and sauce, check out Vasilio's, Cortland.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and they let us do this here on Saturday to talk about things that are happening in tech. Been doing this show for, almost 10 years now, and the whole premise of it was you as the listeners out there get a forum to be able to talk about things that, maybe the problems are small and you don't have time to take a class, but you have a place to come and learn by proxy through other people's experiences, and sharing that knowledge with people allows them to, up their game and add on to what they know, which makes them more capable with using computers. And we kind of saw that when, everybody started, almost every home had a computer, and then the smartphone revolution, if you were going to be at an extreme disadvantage if you didn't embark in the world of technology, you'd be absent in a lot of the things that are, the rest of us are capable. And so this is like a nice, fair, easy, safe place to sort of, learn and just over time. I mean, I had people that started listening totally newbie, we call them neophytes, somebody who you put a mouse in their hand and they struggle to know what to do with it. Those are the types that have started out with us. And anytime you ask them about computers, they say something like, I'm computer stupid. I don't know what I'm doing, right? And they have proclaimed themselves behind the 8 ball. But if they stick around long enough, like early shows, they hear about things that they have no clue about. But then they hear something, and then they say, hey, Joe, slow down for 2 seconds and explain blah. And then I explain blah. And now they get a little bit addicted because they get a little bit more information in their head. So that's what I love most about the show is the transformations that people go from not knowing anything to getting on the bus and being able to pick up things that make them more able. And I hear stories all the time from people who took that course. So I want to thank everybody from the very inception and most of all this radio station for lending me this studio and allowing this show to come to fruition, being a great family member and a great ally to be able to pull this off. Couldn't do it without them. And there aren't many radio stations that would take someone who had no clue about radio and put them in front of a mic and giving them the sort of like the mentorship to be able to pull it off successfully. So again, very thankful that been extended this ability. So thanks to all of them for doing that. 330-729-9977. I did want to also mention that we have that TEDx Youngstown that's going to be coming up here shortly. September 22nd is the date. And I asked from the very beginning, even before tickets were on sale, for you guys to support the event that's coming to Youngstown. And you did. You sold them out, right? And so last weekend, I think they opened up an additional 18 seats in the balcony seating area. So they are adding to. And I don't know how many more seats they can add on. So if you haven't gotten it, the tickets are on sale over at TEDxYoungstown.com. You can head over there and buy your tickets for that TED event. We got a couple more weeks for you to get, but I don't think they're going to have any seats by the end of this. So again, I want to thank all of you out there who have purchased your tickets and support these Youngstown events, because that's how you keep them coming, is you keep them becoming successful. And so I appreciate it, everybody who stood up and purchased your tickets. And another thing is, beginning of the year, I announced that we were going to do Youngstown Computer was going to be selling and getting into the manufacturing business. And for now, we're doing assembly. We're picking out components and we're picking out our favorite chassis, and we're putting a very consistent, stable machine build together. And we did it primarily for our commercial customers because that's what they need. They need a machine they can count on and is reliable and it's going to run for the 5 years that we put it on the board for without interruption. So we pick really low failure rate components and we build them with a lot of care. And it's something we weren't getting off the shelf. And so when we went on the radio here and announced that we have a big interest in doing manufacturing, again, you guys, the listeners, stood up and are purchasing these machines. Our guys on the bench said that this will be our. I think we built our 50th machine since we started doing this. And I know Dell and all the big guys, they build 50 in a minute. But this is significant for us because we went from not selling computers and specifically not getting into the hardware business to then saying we're going to do it. And 50 of you stood up and purchased a machine from us to get this thing going. So again, you guys always come through, and that's something that's been predictable about this area. And if those of you who dabble in other markets, you always return back here because our people is what make us different. We just come through. We might bitch a lot and we might complain and whatever, but when it comes down to it and when it counts, you guys are there. Every charitable event that I've ever been to has been a success. You never say, hey, you know what? We held this Akron Children's Hospital thing and we barely collected any money. No, you guys take off work and scrape the bottom of the checking accounts, and you guys give with all your heart. And that's why I love being a part of this community, and it's worthwhile to put myself out there to try to help in the renaissance and the rebuilding and all the new stuff that we have, is because I know you guys are going to come through. I know we're not going to, it's not going to be another round of depletion. This is expansion. So again, we ordered a couple, we ordered enough components to build a couple more next week, and those are also sold out. So keep them coming. Really appreciate it. And my plans for this hardware thing. So right now we're an assembly group. So you pay us, and I think it was like $970 for this i5 machine. It's got a solid state drive in it. It's real solid. And then we have a developer's machine, the people who produce, do graphics work and whatnot. We have another version of that. So just those two, literally we have two models that we've been selling through, and you guys are hanging in there. Eventually, we're going to have so many of these in the field, we're going to have, invent some technicians or support. And here's what I want to do. We all knew, like, when in the early, parts of the Gateway computer and Dell computer, one of the things that sold their computers most, but we loved the support that they extended us. We loved the fact that you can call a human being that speaks English and they're good at their job and they are willing to help, right? And then for some reason, we took something that we really liked. We loved the fact that it was all high quality components, and we loved it was all people that we could communicate with, and we commoditized both of those. We put crappy computers together and talked to crappy people who couldn't understand us. And I'm not going to, that's not in my forecast for what we're putting together. So when we get to the point where we've sold enough machines that we can hire support people, so when you pick up the phone and call, you're talking to a human being that's right here. I want to hire that person right here. I don't want to outsource it. I know it's cheaper to outsource it. I know all the stuff that we're doing right now, there's cheaper ways of doing it. And trust me, all week long, people tell me that I could put cheaper components and make more money off each machine or bring the price down. And that's cool. And there are already people doing that. I do not have to reinvent what's already being done. I have to invent the way that we like interacting with computers. I like to put a computer there and not have to worry about it for 5 years. So I'm going to put components in there that don't mess me up, right? Don't have this failing out and this memory stick goes bad, and then I have to break my attention from this and go over here and fix a computer that should not be broken by now. That's what I'm after. And so it's more expensive than what you're going to find it on the big box retailers for two reasons. I'm buying different components, and I'm paying our engineers to put that stuff together. People who really take the job seriously. They're not assembly line workers that don't care if that nut or bolt gets put on fast and tightly, right? It's a person that pays attention to that equipment for an hour's worth of their time to make sure that it's done right, and I take great pride in it. So that's what we're building here, is that all of these jobs that come from the manufacturing of these computers are not going to be the cheapest. That's not what I'm going after. I'm the guy who wants in this area to raise labor costs and raise home values and raise payrolls. That's the only way you do it, is you create a product that fetches more so you can pay more, and then those people spend more, and that's the beginning of a new cycle to the top, not a cycle to the bottom. So I'm going to keep repeating this because a lot of you have a misunderstanding when that comes, because yes, in the short term, lower prices help us because we have to spend less for X. Okay, but it's only when you back away and take yourself out of it that you look that's the spiral, that if you take, the rule of not begrudging someone else from making money, right, means that you will be begrudged from making money because you're in that community. And that's what we don't want to do. We want to support people on the upside. I want a guy to come to my house and offer a service, and I want to pay him more than he was asking, so that he takes that money and he can pay someone else more than they were asking. And then so everybody's prices are on the upswing instead of the downswing. So again, I've repeated this before and I've explained it before, but I want to let all of you know that I really do mean it when this is the stuff that's going to happen. I do not want to be known as, we put it as a badge of honor that we've got low labor rates, low cost of living. You know what that means? You know what you're agreeing to when you come to a place that has low cost of living, right? So I don't want that anymore. I want to build it up. So anyway, that's the motivation. But if you do want a computer from Youngstown Computer, we will be sure and happy to build one for you. We've got a couple of them that are coming in this week. For those of you who are in waiting for them, those will be built this week. We assemble them, we test them, and then they're ready to go. So it's usually only a 30-day or a 3-day turnaround time from the time that we're putting the components together to make sure that, and the time that we make sure that it's good enough to go out the door. So a lot of questions came in this week about the builds and what they're more. So I didn't probably put enough time in explaining the components that's in this, because a lot of you had those questions, and I almost feel bad because the guys down at the shop had to answer a lot of the same questions. So I'm just used to, we have such a great relationship with our commercial customers that when they say they need a machine, I just go get the machine. They don't like really ask about the components. They just trust the fact that we really know what we're doing, and we're not going to cheapen things out and make you suffer, right? They just know that we're not going to overspend. I mean, you give us the credit card and we're not going to just start swiping and buying stuff you don't need, right? We're buying it as if we were buying it for ourselves, and that usually works out for buyers. One, you don't need to micromanage when you put the faith in the philosophy, which is this: like a guy that's building a computer that wants it to be consistent and give you the most performance without overspending on the R&D that's in a product. I mean, that's the sweet spot when you purchase a computer. That's where you end up with us. So if you need technicals, if you need a specific application, I'll give them real quick. It's an i5. Okay, we got 8th generation i5 is our processor. We've got 8 gigs of memory, 16 if you ask us. We got a solid state drive, 250 gigs, or a 500 if you need it. We use MSI motherboards or ASUS motherboards, depending on which part of the spectrum that you're on. And so I like I said, the better performing solid state, we use all Samsung stuff. So the Samsung solid state drive, the memory that we're using is high end performance memory, not the low end value memory. So there's differences in these costs, and they're not negligible. So I'm willing, when you buy this, you're going to be buying a computer every 5 years. So you might as well, for the 5 years, really enjoy it, not just the first 2 years, but all 5 of them. So I appreciate everybody purchasing the computers from us. And I'm sorry I spent so much time describing it, but I don't think I did a good enough job last week on describing it. So there you go. And so if you'd like to order one, 330-259-7278 is the phone number. Give them a call and let them know that you want to be put on the list. And then I'm constantly ordering parts because you guys are buying them in the volume that is we're always in the state of building. And so I appreciate the support and the purchase. Again, 330-259-7278. Okay, so we got a couple more text messages in, and let me mention them a couple of them before we go off to break. And we can always talk about these on the other side of the break too. Let's see. That was the straw one. Mars would have had plastics first if they would have had enough water. That's why Marvin and the other Martians came here. They wanted water. Interesting. I don't necessarily think on those kind of comments I need to even respond, but thank you for contributing. Plastic is the only resource plastic is the only resource we have that the Earth cannot produce naturally. Humans were given the higher level thinking to create plastic. Now the Earth will. And I got cut off for some reason. Earth will destroy humans because it got plastic. Can't take credit for this, George Carlin said it. Okay. So yeah, and that's, and when you create a topic like this where you have polarization between, you have these things that people are mad on this side and people are mad on this side, that's kind of like the commentary you get behind. So I don't wish to do that anymore. I don't wish to create blame and create villains. I think we're a lot of like super capable people, and when we're given a challenge, right, we take the challenge on. We don't really care those gripes and moans and whatever. But that's what we're giving up here is we're stopping complaining and starting doing. We got a lot of doers. We got a lot of education. We got a lot of intelligent geniuses in our area, and they just need a quest. So let's put some of these brilliant people on quests and see what happens. I mean, that's good. 330-729-9977. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Win your way to our 2018 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Justin Timberlake, Fleetwood Mac, Mariah Carey, and so many more.
2 nights on one stage.
Hosted by Ryan Seacrest. September 21st and 22nd at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Sundays are for family, friends, and football. Sundays are for getting it all done or doing nothing at all. But now, Sundays are for watching The CW. This October, The CW is bringing Supergirl and Charm to Sunday nights. This fall, Sundays are for The CW.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology actively invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you, the needle in the haystack.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire.
Anyone who tells you you're too late to invest in cryptocurrencies has no idea what's about to happen next. I'm Tika Tiwari. I'm a former hedge fund manager, and I worked on Wall Street since the 1980s. Through the dot-com boom, the housing boom, the gold boom, cryptocurrencies are the most compelling opportunity I've seen in 30 years. The only one you can start with just $100 and change your life. So I've teamed up to create a short course on crypto investing to help you learn, prepare, and profit. It shows you everything from what cryptocurrencies are, how they work, how to buy them, and what to buy. Even if you think the crypto bubble has burst, or you're too late, or too old, or technologically challenged, you must see this education course now. Go to howtocryptoclass.com now. That's howtocryptoclass.com.
Hey people, are you paying attention? Are you looking for a truck to use like a truck? Then why would you spend big money on a new one and beat the out of it? This is Joe Fire from Fireball Motors. Be smarter and spend less money on a better truck. We specialize in non-rusty West Coast trucks from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that are under 10 grand. We are located on Route 422, just an eighth mile from the PA border, or online at fireballtrucks.com. And remember, Fireball means four-wheel drive.
Here's some great MVSN offers.
Woolham Chevrolet always has over 80 clean, reliable used cars, trucks, and SUVs for work or for your family. At Woolham, you don't pay more, you get more. Woolham Chevrolet, Cortland, Ohio, the dealer that wants to earn your business.
Bernard Daniels Lumber in Canfield. We're so much more than a lumber store.
Everything to improve your home, inside and out. Our knowledgeable staff can help you out with any project. Bernard Daniels Lumber in Canfield has been serving the Valley for over 100 years, so come on out and see why we're the best deal in town.
Don't cook tonight. Enjoy the great takeout menu from Inner Circle Pizza in Canfield. Not only can you enjoy their great pizza, but you can take home anything from their wonderful menu. Log on to InnerCirclePizza.com or call 330-533-7575.
It's the 50% off truckload sale at DJV Carpet. Porcelain tile was $3.99, now just $1.99 a square foot. Rolls of Shaw carpeting are now 50% off while supplies last at DJV Carpet on Victoria Road in Austintown. Wholesale pricing every day.
It's National Make a Will Month at LegalZoom.com. Now is the time to take control of your family assets with a will or a living trust. LegalZoom's network of independent attorneys can help you determine what is best for you and for your family. Plus, LegalZoom's not a law firm. You're never paying those high hourly rates. Now, just check out LegalZoom.com's Last Will Living Trust Estate Plans right now, and it's over at LegalZoom.com. And for special savings, just put my name, Hannity, in the promo code when you check out. LegalZoom.com, where life meets legal.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I'm Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and you're here along with me for the ride, talking about things that are happening in tech. Question came in from a Facebook Live user. Let's see. Question for you. I read the old newspapers at Google Archive site, especially old ones from the 20s and through the 60s. I've been reading them for several years. The last few weeks, I have been kicked off after a couple pages because I violated their terms of service, and it has my IP address there. It makes me go through the whole I am not a robot thing with the pictures, etc. Then I can continue, but only a few pages, and then it goes blank again. What can I do to remedy this? Can I get a new IP? I've tried resetting my router, but to no avail. I have the same IP. Help, Gail. And thanks, Gail, for the questions. And so I've used the archive service through Google before, and I've never seen a violation of terms of service. I don't even know what the terms of service would be. I don't know if a harvester or something that's going through there and taking the images. I just don't know that what you could possibly be doing to qualify to being not compliant with their terms of service. The only thing I could think of is that your router or your modem from Spectrum inherited a public address that was responsible for either sending out spam, and Google as a whole is just recognizing you as someone who's not to be trusted, and they're just giving you, a hard time because of the IP address that it thinks you have. And so what I would probably do is, yes, you have two options here. You can call Spectrum and say, hey, I've got a nasty IP and it's causing all kind of problems. Can you release my IP address from my router so the next time, or your modem, next time you reboot, hopefully you get a different IP address. That's number one. And so that way, because I'm almost sure that if you send email out and you have that as a public IP address, and if it's an inherited address that's dirty, your email is going to struggle as well. So you do not want to have an IP address that has a reputation history or something like that. So you can reset. It's probably going to take a phone call, because even if you reboot and you got the same IP, that means it's still being leased to your equipment. And when you reboot, it's just giving it the same IP address. But you can call their tech support and say, can you please, bot me out of there? And so that's one way. The second way is you can use a VPN, either software or hardware VPN, to mask your provider as it is. And so, like, we're testing one called Butterfly VPN. It's a little USB device that you plug into your computer. You plug in a network cable, and so basically you create a tunnel through VPN services that is sort of managed on the hardware side, the Butterfly stick. Or you can just do software where they install something on your local machine. Cisco has a version of it, and there's like 1,000 different VPN providers. I would try that, and that way I would still try to get the Spectrum one changed regardless, because you just don't want to be trekking the internet with a damaged IP address. It just gets in your way too much. But you might want to try something on the VPN side after that, because again, that having your traffic be not random, but anonymous is a valuable thing, and starting to preview a service that gives you what you're after there. It's a safe thing, especially if you travel and get on the internet and whatnot. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, take some more of your phone calls if you want to get on the line, 330-729-9977, or you can text me, 333-1570 is the phone number. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. This is the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN.
How can you extend your life by 6 years? Getting the right form of vitamin C. Most doctors don't look at our vitamin C levels. Walking around tired or just not feeling right? Listen Sunday morning at 8:30 to world-renowned Dr. Michael Pincus give valuable information. This Sunday at 8:30 a.m.
In the back room. Doesn't that sound different and refreshing? See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Here's what's happening in the Valley. Concerned citizens went to court yesterday in an attempt to stop the Lordstown TJX project. 27 First News says the group says they would suffer immediate and permanent harm if TJX builds. For now, the results will stand. Another hearing is set for September 11th. Attorneys for the village say it's just another attempt to stall the project. Sunday is the 9th year for the Youngstown Fanarathon. Several Interstate 680 ramps, however, are closed for repairs. I-680 southbound between State Route 193 and Market Street is closed through Monday morning. The ramp from High Street to I-680 is closed. The detour will be Edward Street to Mahoning Avenue to 5th Avenue to US 422 East, US 62 West back to 680. Also, the ramps from Oakwood Street to I-680 and Silman Street to I-680, both southbound, are closed. The detour for both will be Steel Street to Mahoning Avenue to 5th Avenue to US 422 East to US 62 West back to I-680. The last family left homeless after flooding in Boardman has found a new place to stay. Lisa Coleman and her family moved from their house on Woodview into their new home in Struthers yesterday. Firefighters made it safe for them to move out with boards holding up the house. Her basement wall was taken out by the flood. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 3. For your home or business, call Mazza Heating and Cooling in Girard, your factory-authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Small risk for an isolated shower or a thunderstorm mainly this afternoon. Temperatures will climb into the low 80s. The chance for a few showers or thunderstorms will be around tonight, with temperatures dropping back into the mid-60s. In the Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm Alex George.
We are more than 30,000 strong.
And they're up roaring. Listen to this place.
We are a city that believes.
Down the line it goes, airball! He's being waved home!
We are the spark that ignites the fire.
Coming home, Lindor, throw to the plate, and first slide, safe at the plate!
We are the home field advantage.
Progressive Field is rocking tonight!
Get a 1948 replica jersey courtesy of Meritech at Progressive Field on September 1st. Tickets available on Indians.com.
Here's a reminder, don't get caught without air conditioning during these hot summer months. What you need to remember is to call Price Heating and Cooling today for service and maintenance. Now, Price Heating and Cooling prides themselves on their outstanding customer service and expertise. They'll have you feeling cool and comfortable in your home all summer long. So remember, for your air conditioning service and to stay nice and cool and comfortable, call the experts in red. Price Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-SAY-PRICE.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-573-9552. That's 800-573-9552. 800-573-9552. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's. 570 WKBN.com. Driven by Donnell Ford. Boardman and DonnellFord.com. The only place where you can discover the Donnell difference.
Discover the Donnell difference.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. We're talking about things that are happening in tech, so if you have any questions, 330-729-9977, or you can text me at 333-1570. Here's a text question. Can you put this VPN thing in simple context for us novices? Should I be using one? Is it more secure? Does it work on phones? I've read about them, but I don't understand. Okay, so here's what a VPN is. Okay, so every time that you're participating in a network, whether or not you're at work, whether or not you're at home, whether you're on a public hotspot, your devices become part of that network. So what happens is there's a device that is listening to your requests and then granting those requests. And it usually is a router. You're talking to a router, and the router's talking to whoever's above it making these requests. So if you're making a request for a certain website, you go over to the router and say, hey, Mr. Router, I would like to go to X, right? And so the router then governs where you're getting your internet from. Now, what a VPN does is it uses the router that you're talking to, wherever you're at home, on the road, or at work, and it creates a secure tunnel in the middle of that router. So you use the router to create a tunnel, okay? So it's still taking your traffic, your bandwidth, your data, and serving it. But rather than having it serve the data, the end user data, it's serving the data for the traffic that's going. It doesn't understand what's going over the tunnel. It's encrypted. So all it does is it just relays it so that your traffic is actually then being handed off. Instead of being serviced by your local router, it goes up to the DNS or the VPN service provider, which then services the requests. Okay, so you basically have changed it. Instead of, if you use Spectrum, Spectrum is the one that's probably serving your DNS requests, where when you access websites, you can then change your DNS and make Google serve your DNS requests, right? That'd be a simpler way of making it so that Spectrum doesn't know where you're going because you're asking the actual web requests from Google. So if we were to boil this down and say, is VPN something important for you? Now, in certain circumstances, you would want to have a secure connection. If you do not trust or know, if you can't point at the device that's giving you the secure tunnel, right? I'm sorry, not the secure tunnel. If you don't know the device that's serving the internet requests, if it's somebody else, your work, or a hotspot, you for sure want to be on something that you know is secure, because you have no idea if every packet that you're sending over there isn't being recorded and somebody can look through everything that you've requested, be it any kind of unsecure anything. Okay, where you're going and their IP addresses and who you're sending emails to, anything that's not secure, they can see. So when I'm at a hotel, I'll put in the Butterfly and I'll use the Butterfly VPN in that case. So virtual private network, which means it uses whoever you're connected to create a tunnel so that your traffic cannot be evaluated or analyzed by the person that's servicing the request. They have no idea. They know you did something. They know you've got data that's going over there, but when they pick out that piece of data, it's encrypted so they can't see what it actually is. The only people who can see now are you and whoever is providing you the tunnel. They can still see it because, again, that request still has to be processed by somebody. It's just not now your service provider, it's the VPN provider. So I went over to ExpressVPN, and this is one that's heavily advertised. And I looked at all of the services that they offer, and so they have like 4 different choices. And so I'm going to explain them real quick. Number one, they're going to have software that runs on the entire desktop and the entire laptop, which means that your computer comes on the internet and then you run a little piece of software and hit connect. It establishes a tunnel, and then everything you do then on the computer goes through that tunnel. It changes your network connection so that once you're established, all your traffic is going over the VPN. So that's product number one. Number two, smartphones and tablets. So they have an app that runs on iOS and Android devices that does the same thing. It converts your connection, establishes VPN tunnel, and now all the traffic that goes over there. So now we've got your desktop and your laptop locked down. We've got your smartphone and your tablets locked down. The next thing is your router. They have, it's called point-to-point, and so these IPsec or point-to-point tunneling is done between hardware devices. So then if your router has the ability to create a VPN connection, then anything on your side of the router is encrypted. So that means every device, you don't have to run software on every computer. The whole thing is encrypted. So your router establishes a VPN tunnel, and then every device on your side of the network. We see this in businesses a lot. Like if I have a place in Youngstown and I have a place in Boardman, two of my same, it's the same company, just in 2 different locations. We'll create a tunnel between the two so that devices have no idea that they're separated from distances. It's these one big network between. A tunnel creates a connection between them, and then you can share printers over a VPN. You can open documents over a VPN. You can use internet over a VPN. So you have one primary router, and then you have a bunch of, extensions to that primary connection. So that would be your router VPN. And the last one is a browser extension service that this ExpressVPN offers. And so basically, you don't filter everything. You just do web requests. So you take the extension. You add it to Chrome, Internet Explorer, or Firefox, and then when you have the browser makes a request, it's sending your connection out through the VPN. Your local stuff will still operate on the non-VPN side, right? So if you've got a local network that you do file sharing and stuff like that, you might want only your browser requests to be going out through the VPN. So anything you do over the browser then would be locked down. I'm going to click. I don't even know how much this costs. This service looks like it takes all of the, it has all the regular services. Let me see if it's ExpressVPN pricing. And they are not a sponsor of the show. They're just the one that I know. Let's see, $12.95 per month. There are cheaper ones than that. I think there's one that's like $5 a month, but this, like I said, this one's heavily heavily trusted. I'm not going to say heavily trusted, heavily advertised. We'll keep it at that. So $13 a month, that gives you all 4 of those services. And so do I recommend it? I can't say I recommend it because I don't use it in all places. In theory, it's a really good idea to keep your stuff anonymous. Not that it's protecting you, and not doing, 90% of the time it wouldn't be protecting you from anything, because, the only people that can see your traffic is your service provider. And so that's really all you do, is you just take, instead of your service provider being able to see what you do, the VPN service would be able to see what you do. So I don't know that it's much of an improvement, but for sure, if you're in an environment where you don't trust, it's a good idea. So 330-729-9977 is the phone number here. If you want to call and ask any other questions, I'll be sure and happy to answer your questions. If you want to schedule something with Youngstown Computer, 330-259-7278 is the office phone number. We're located over 600 Youngstown Poland Road. That's our bench. So if you have hardware that needs to be worked on or needs some service, average ticket price is about $200. So when you get when you get your computer service, you have a good idea going into it that it usually takes about 2 hours to do our regular stuff. So that's, that way there's not a shock going in there. The maintenance costs on these things, you usually have one of these things every couple years, and it's just part of the participating in a computer world, is that you have those costs. It happens to all of us. And just to give you an idea, so that you, when you get something scheduled up, you know what to expect. They'll assess everything first to make sure that they're right. And if it's not a $200, some of them are $125. So if it only takes an hour, then worst case scenario is $200. Best case scenario, it only costs you $100. A lot of the times we do a yearly cleanup maintenance thing, and I haven't announced one. We've been so busy this year, there just hasn't been any free time to do those programs. But if you want, if you're used to that and you need a maintenance, please let our guys know, and that way we can start putting a list together. And if we get a free moment towards the end of fall, we'll make sure right before the weather's still nice, we can get some maintenances in. And those of you who rely on us to do that service, we don't want a year to escape and you don't do your maintenances. So we'll make sure we open that up at least once. But again, we apologize. We huge growth mode at Youngstown Computer. We've just got, not to say that we're overly busy, but we're just very blessed that that you guys, all of you, have depended on us for the last 10 years. And so, we're just blessed. I'm very thankful that you do that. So if you need something, 330-259-7278 is the phone number. You can call and leave a message with the answering service and get on the list for Monday drop-off. We do field services, so we can come out to you. You can request that. And again, that new equipment, if you need a new computer, you can even put it on the radar. It's always best to get a new computer started before you actually need it, because it's such an easier transfer process when we're not like disaster recovery mode to move you to a new computer. We're a graceful move to a new computer mode. And so the threshold is, okay, once your computer makes it to 5 years, all right, most of the stuff that's put out there, you start losing smaller components and then bigger components as time goes on. So once it hits 5 years and you see that the fans start going, or you might have a memory chip that goes bad, you're starting to get on the downside of that slope. And that's when you start considering and saying, okay, well, the next maintenance we have, let's just use that opportunity to slide our data over to a new machine. Because that's really what it comes down to. Anybody can go buy a machine off the shelf, but it's your stuff that's most valuable. And so while we're in working condition, let's find a good way to get your pictures and your applications, because we got to dig for licenses and stuff like that. And everybody hates the time of getting a new computer. At the same time, we love getting a new computer because it's new, faster hardware, and we get to experience that new machine, for a little while here. So that makes it the less. It puts down the least amount of friction when doing it, as it's on your terms. You get to set the timeline. You get to be prepared for it. So before you go to that, do what you can to pay attention to the programs that you use. And we'll sit down with you, make a list, and say, okay, well, I use Office, and I use Firefox, and I have all my bookmarks here. And then just pay attention and put a piece of paper next to the computer. And every time you find yourself using a program, write it down. And that way you have a really good idea of what needs to exist on the other computer when it's finished. It helps us out a great deal in sort of like taking a good guess at how long things are going to take. But our guys will sit down with you during a transfer and sort of give you that preview. We'll build it into the cost so that you have time to pick our brains and ask your questions. So a lot of people use that as sort of like a hybrid crash course too, so that if you're just getting started, you can slide some questions in there that help you become a better user as well. So you get to see where your data is, you get to check it out before it leaves the building, and then you also get to ask your questions. So just request that you want an extra half hour built into your cost so that you can pick our guys' brains. Our guys are really intelligent, and they're empathetic. They sort of carry that philosophy that we all do. Is, I was always explained as a kid that, sympathy is when somebody's on the shore and they see your boat sinking and they feel really bad for you. Empathy is when they're sitting on the shore and they see your boat sinking and we swim out to you and help you bail it out. That's really the difference where, you get our full emotional effort into saving you. We get into the boat and start in problem solving mode right there with you. So you got a bunch of guys that will care about you and your situation. And all you really have to do is give us what's most important to you and most critical to you. And then we kind of take that as our goal and our initiative. So 330-259-7278 is the phone number. And a lot of you ask, like, what should I pick out? I don't know what to pick out. I go to the store and the salesperson says that the AMDs are better than the Intels and 8 gigs and 16 gigs are what I should do. And I just don't know. I don't know what to pick. And I'll tell you, most of you as users probably have more machines sitting in front of you than you've ever used. Okay, so the minimum, right, is usually more than most of you use. Now, there are people who play games and people who do graphics and people who do videos and lots of multimedia that benefit from processors that are fast and benefit from hard drives that are fast and benefit from lots of memory in there. But for most of us, we don't. We just need a computer that runs fast and is nice and stable and, won't run out of hard drive space and won't run out of processing power. And so if you came to me and said, hey, I'm just an internet browser. I need my browser to work really fast and I don't do much of anything else. Well, you don't need a $1,000 computer for browsing the internet, right? You need a computer that, I like running a computer that has a solid state drive just because the browser anymore is a pretty massive application, but I don't need to go overboard in processing power. Like an i5 7th generation is plenty for that. Even an i3, I can make an i3 work really well in a browser, in just a web browsing scenario. And so an i3, a $700 computer, it will be plenty. And in some cases, a Chromebook is enough. You can spend $150 on a Chromebook, get your browsing out of the way, and be fine. You don't have any storage necessities. You're not going to be throwing any applications on there. I can get a Chromebook working for most of you. So that's what you want to share with our guys is the what you're going to be doing for, because that really does matter. And so it's really easy when you go to the store to be you got the 20-year-old kid who what's important to them is a high-powered machine that can play video games, right? So they're going to tell you what's awesome about whatever's awesome in their world. It's hard for people to look at you and say how you're going to be using it. And once they start spending your money, they're looking at things, they're like, okay, well, I'm probably never going to do that, but that would be nice and sounds good. So anyway, share sort of like what you're doing with our guys so we can appropriately pick it out. And again, if it's not one of our computers that's that's in the middle range, if that's not what you need, that's okay. Our job is not to sell you something that you don't need. Our job is to sell you what is most important to you. And a lot of times, like I said, especially some of our older listeners out there, the least complicated solution is the best solution. So if I can sell you a $200 Chromebook and you can get on the internet with it and you don't have to figure anything out or learn anything new, that might be preferable in your world. So don't be afraid to talk and ask our people, give them enough information to have them help you make a good decision, because they're looking at you for guidance to how we're going to serve you as well as we can. So again, big tirade about that, but I wanted to make sure that everybody in this audience kind of knows the philosophy for which we build our business around. And it's important to us that you guys support us, so we got to be the best version of ourselves for you. And We appreciate all of you out there. All right, we're going to take a break. Come one last segment here on the Youngstown Computer Show. The number 330-729-9977 or text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Marvel Universe Live, an action-packed live arena show. Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Hulk, and more unite for an all-new legendary battle. Take an epic journey with non-stop action. Don't miss a single explosive moment. Marvel Universe Live. Tickets start at $15. Restrictions and additional charges may apply. See it live at Cavelli Center October 12th through 14th.
Listen up! Looking for a new Toyota? Well, this is about to be the most valuable minute of your day. What? The national clearance event is going on now at Taylor Toyota of Hermitage with jaw-dropping deals. For a short time, you can get a brand new 2018 Tacoma SR Double Cab 4x4 for just $199 a month. That's a whole lot of truck and only $199. $199. People are gonna snatch those up quick. And if you're trading in your current vehicle, you'll be saving even more. Get this, Taylor Toyota is giving up to 130% KBB value for trades. That means whatever your car's worth, you're getting an extra 30%. Recap, that's a 2018 Tacoma for only $199 and 130% KBB value for your trade. Passing that up is just throwing cash away. No. So get the Taylor Toyota of Hermitage now for the national clearance event. To pay more is insane!
36-month lease, $1,000 down, plus first payment tax, title, and $116 doc fee. No security with approved credit based on fair condition up to $3,000. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details. Offer ends 9/4/18.
Every day, 1,700 new kids begin abusing opioids. Most teens get these drugs from family or friends. Prevent children from abusing prescription drugs by locking your meds or by taking unwanted medications to a nearby drop box. A message from the Trumbull County Mental Health and Recovery Board.
Tired for no reason, muscle weakness, or high blood pressure? The cause can be as simple as a vitamin D deficiency. People in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania don't make enough vitamin D, and it affects their health. Listen this Sunday morning at 7 for more information. That's Sunday at 7 a.m.
The 6 best days of summer down at the biggest county fair in the state. Y'all come early and stay late. A world of whirling rides and games of skill. Tasty treats and concerts that thrill. Will give you something to crow about. Boo and oink, let's shout it out at the Canfield Fair. The 6 best days of summer. 6 best days.
Don't miss the 172nd Canfield Fair presented by Sweeney Chevrolet Buick GMC, August 29th through September 3rd.
So like many of you, I have trouble sleeping. I have insomnia. No matter what I tried, it wouldn't work until I met Mike Lindell, and I got my very own MyPillow. It has changed my life. What makes MyPillow so different is MyPillow's patented adjustable fill. In other words, you can adjust the patented fill to your exact individual needs so you get the support you need and want to help you get to sleep faster and stay asleep longer. Just go to MyPillow.com or call 1-800-919-6090. Remember, use the promo code Hannity. When you do, Mike Lindell will give you his best offer ever. Buy one pillow and get another one absolutely free. MyPillow, made in the USA, 10-year unconditional warranty, and it has a 60-day, no-questions-asked money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. So it's time for you to start getting the quality of sleep that you've been wanting and we need. Just go to MyPillow.com or call 800-919-6090, promo code Hannity. Take advantage of Mike's special 2-for-1 offer. MyPillow.com, promo code Hannity.
It's Saturday, August 25th. What's new today on the free iHeartRadio app? iHeartRadio. Don't let summer get away without experiencing one of iHeartRadio's free summer playlists. 70s Road Mix is perfect for cruising around or sitting by the pool. And the Yacht Rock playlist is guaranteed to put you in a good mood. Plus, football fans, it's draft season. Check out the 24/7 Fantasy Sports Network so you can crush your fantasy draft. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. iHeartRadio.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. Still some confusion about VPN out there. So another text message came in about not quite understanding it. You gotta look at it like this: that their VPNs are used as a utility for computer engineers. So you're gonna find some stuff about VPN that are in just the settings of your phone. So if you were manually setting up a VPN on maybe a VPN server that you control, that's where you would do. That's not for you. So most of you don't have a good understanding. You need sort of like an end-to-end controlled VPN experience. Like ExpressVPN is something where you'd outsource the VPN stuff to a company that would basically, you go to their website, you sign up, you pay them, and then they extend the products to you that make it easy. So hiding the actual VPNing that's going on and just make it as simple as being an app or a piece of software or a browser extension. So you don't have to worry about manually putting it in your networking settings. That would be something that I would be using as an engineer, but not something as an end user that you would. So find a VPN provider that you trust, somebody that you can talk to, and you don't have to have VPN understanding in order to use VPN. You just have to have a service that you can figure out enough to make sure that your device is connecting using a VPN. So I just went to ExpressVPN. Again, not the only one out there. Downloaded an app for ExpressVPN, which if I had service with them and I opened the app and I logged in, the wizards and the configuration would be very obvious. And if it's not obvious, I have somebody to call to be able to do it. So, that's what you're doing is you're outsourcing the knowledge to someone who can extend that to you. And then they offer the support so that they can help you get connected and whatnot. And again, if you're doing it manually, then in your network settings, you'd see VPN. You can do a bunch of other stuff. But again, that's the utilitarian use for VPN, not something that is intended or meant for end users, I'm sure. So, all right. I thank everybody for listening to the program today. And I guess what you should sort of take away from this program, we put a lot of effort into, getting innovative in this area and giving some of our brightest to people who are maybe being misused. I can't say misused, but underused. The intelligence is very deep in this area, and the opportunities are just very mediocre and regular. And that's not an insult. There's a lot of like mediocre things for, a society that puts its stock in mediocrity. Okay. So I'm cool with that. Regular is fine. But I just think that if we took some of these more frontier type ideas and we didn't mock them and, quick to jump on them and make a villain out of them and add negativity to them, I think a lot of our brightest would feel a little bit better. I want to give all of those bright people, I just want a little propulsion into working on some of these big projects. So get in touch with me. I want to enable you. So again, thank you for everybody for listening to the show. We're off next week. I believe there's baseball, and I'm going on vacation anyhow. So we'll catch you in a couple weeks. Have a great one. Have a great holiday. You listen to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN.